What comes to mind when I say the word date night? Do you laugh out loud and say, I have 3 little kids, right? Or do you say, I'm too tired and busy and overwhelmed for date night? Or how about date night is just too expensive? By the time you hire a babysitter, go to dinner, and just throw in a movie and we're like hundreds of dollars in, right? Or how about I don't have family in town when I don't have any babysitters, or I don't trust anyone else with my kids? Here's one. How about my husband is too busy and overwhelmed to plan date night? How about we'll start date night when the kids are older? Have you thought any of these things? Do any of these ring a bell? As a mom of 3 young kids, I am going to share a strategy with you that has worked for me and my husband to consistently have date nights pretty much every week. Sometimes it's every other week, but it's pretty much every week, and how we've done that. And let me share with you. Tip number 1, mindset change. So marriage is top priority over the kids. Marriage is top priority over the kids, even though these kids need so much time and so much love and so much care. They're going to grow up and move away. And I don't know about you, but I still want to be friends, and I want to be in love with my husband when my kids graduate from high school. So that happens right now. They need to know, my kids need to know that my husband's top priority, that the world is not actually revolving around their own universe. Yes, they need to know they're loved, but they need to know that my husband is priority to me. This is a big deal. This is a mindset change. Kids are not victims. As we all know, more things are caught rather than taught, right? So let's teach our kids how to prioritize our husbands and have good marriages. Let's teach them that. So that's number 1, mindset change. Tip number 2, you got to schedule it. You got to schedule date night. So my husband and I have a rolling date night in our calendar. Every Saturday night it says date night. It usually happens, but it's on our calendar. We know it's going to be there. My husband and I, we just know we're either going to go out that night. Obviously, I'd have to plan a babysitter for that, or we're just going to stay in. That's usually what we do. We stay in. So, pro tip though, when you're scheduling things, don't do it on a Friday night or whatever night is the end of the week for you when you're really busy. So we've made the mistake of doing date nights on Fridays before. That's the end of our week. We're both tired. We're both worn out. Guess who else is worn out? The kids. They're completely worn out. And we have no energy for each other. We are usually easily offended that night, and we're just exhausted. So we've learned no Friday date nights. It's for us, Saturday is a good day. For you, it might be a different day depending on your schedules. So that's a little tip. Okay, tip number 3 is edit your expectations for your husband and plan this date night yourself. So I've found my husband actually really values quality time with me, but he does not have the bandwidth in his life right now to plan a date night every week or even every month. He just doesn't have that in his schedule or in he just doesn't have the bandwidth for it. So I've laid down my romantic husband, romance book expectations, and I'm like, hey, if I want this to happen, I'm going to plan it. So if I need to schedule a babysitter, I'll do that. Usually what we do is we put the kids down to bed. Our kids go to bed early and they get up early, but that's just our life. We put them down at about 7 o'clock. 6, 4, and 2 are their ages. We put them down at 7, and then we have date night after that. And we try to have something a little bit more special. Maybe I'll buy steaks on sale and we'll have steak and wine for dinner. Or one time, we'd never made homemade ceviche, and we both love it. So I Googled it, bought some shrimp, bought some lime, and we made that together. That was so fun. We love charcuterie boards. So even if we just get some, blue cheese, goat cheese, Asiago cheese, some salami, some, whatever you're into, and have that. It's actually really fun, and it makes a home date night a little bit more special than, spaghetti. Although I love spaghetti, that's Italian, so anything with pasta is completely acceptable. So that's what we do. That's what I plan. If it's been a long time since we've been away from the house, we do try to prioritize babysitters for date night. So we'll try to save in other areas of our life, but we've learned, hey, let's prioritize spending money on babysitters for date night if we need it. Next tip is prep your kids. So especially if you're going to be having a home date, they need to know, hey, mommy and daddy are going to be having a special dinner. You will be going to bed. Or hey, you could put them in their rooms and give them some cute, cool toys and just tell them to stay in there, not come out unless they're bleeding. And then you're going to need to tell them, hey, if you do come out and it's not an emergency, this is the consequence, just so they know. Or this is what I would rather do. Let it be a fun night for them. So turn it so your date night is now their movie night, or is their whatever. So this is what I did actually for a different night of the week, what I call girls' night. So my husband takes Thursday nights off to have alone time. And instead of feeling like the victim at home, staying home with the girls by myself, I decided, well, let's turn this into girls' night. So on Thursdays, we have girls' night, which just means that I make something extremely easy that the girls love and will not be whining about. So it's pizza, mac and cheese, hot dogs, something like that. We put a huge picnic blanket in the living room and we turn on a movie, and they get to eat dinner while watching a movie. And it actually makes it fun for me. It makes it fun for them. So do that for date night. Prep the kids. Hey, this is our time to talk. Mom and daddy need time to talk. This is your time that you get to have a special movie night. So do that if your kids aren't in bed. Obviously, our 2-year-old does not watch TV for very long. So we just put her to bed, and we have the other girls sometimes will stay up and watch a movie or a show for date night. Okay, last but not least, it's okay sometimes to give each other permission to have a low expectation date night. So my husband and I will actually do this sometimes. We'll say, can we have, let's have this be a low expectation date night. It's usually, the day before or the morning of. We've had maybe an especially difficult week, or maybe a sick kid or whatever, where we still want some time together. Like the date night's still on the schedule, but we know that we don't have a whole lot to give. So we'll actually verbally say, hey, can this be a low expectation date night? Yeah, no problem. So you eat, you talk, but you don't have great expectations about, well, let's get into all our deep feelings or talk for hours on end. No, you might decide, hey, this is a good movie night for mom and dad. Like, let's just watch a show. So give each other permission for that. Parents need permission to have low expectations sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. It's called giving each other grace. Okay, last but not least, bonus tip. Try not to talk about the kids or administrate during date night. So I know this is really hard. It's okay to catch up some about the kids, but we fell in love prior to kids most of the time, most of us. So connect in a non-kid, non-administrate. Like, you don't want to talk scheduling on a date night. You don't want to be just planning the whole time. You want to be more than business partners, more than roommates. That's what date nights are for. So talk about other things. Talk about your dreams for the summer. Right now it's winter in Colorado. So dreams for the summer sound really good right now. Talk about new business ideas. Talk about your feelings. Talk about whatever is on your heart. Just be wise about not administrating. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. And I would love to hear if you have some ideas that work for you for date night. I actually think it would be really helpful to me, and it'd be really helpful to other people who are watching this video. So just leave a comment underneath and say, hey, this is what works for us. We've got kids, and this is how we make date nights work. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.